Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kura Isagami, your resident sinker and Medarotter, and this is the Medarot News Network to bring you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Now, as we crest into the first official major week of December, now that we're about 10 days into the holiday season, it looks like Imagineer's got another plan in mind, in particular for what to expect through the holiday season as time goes forward. As we see a rerun, or rather a rerun / version 2 of another very popular collaboration that we had just last year, and that is with the original Zoids series, as they are celebrating their 25th anniversary from the year of from the first anime's release. Now, aside from the original models, we do have a handful of new models that are coming in as well, as you saw in that trailer. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was officially announced for this week. Starting, of course, with the new bots to expect this week and who we can expect starting this Thursday. But starting that lineup on the new models as far as is concerned, we are starting off the bat with ZID-05D Sting, with a kit of Break Rush, Double Break Claw, Multi-Legs, and a new leg ability called Compression. Now, to explain Compression briefly, if you recall briefly the Sparkle leg ability that Arc BDT had, the Master Beetle Crafty Mode version from a number of months ago, Compression is basically the same thing, where upon charging Metaforce, you will gain a stack of boost to self that applies specifically to gravity-type attacks in the situation. So instead of Sparkle being exclusive to optic attacks, Compression, as kind of the name somewhat implies, gears towards gravity attribute skills, while granting an up to 210% damage boost for your next move when you're using a gravity skill. And would you look at that, all three of these Sting's skills are gravity, so he can benefit from that pretty solidly. And we also have a ZID-06 S Sworder, with a kit of Hyper Charge Blade, Block Rage, Terminate, Light Legs, and the leg ability of Barrage. So nothing new with him as far as new skills or new abilities is concerned, all stuff that we've expected and know thus far, but still very exciting all the same for what we can see. And, like I said, to celebrate the 25th anniversary, there's actually a number of bonuses that will be going live this week, and actually being released next week as well, as they kind of stretch it out just a little bit to kind of milk the collaboration just a little bit longer than what people would expect. But for the second half of the Gacha banners going live, I'm going to step out of the way here for just a minute. We are also seeing reruns of the original 4 Gacha models from the first run of the OG Zoids collaboration. That is starting the line off with ZID-01 Blade Liger, with Revenge Sword, Charge Spark, Punishment, Biped Legs, and True Fight. We have ZID-02 Command Wolf, with Hyper Charge Buster, Panic, Hyper Thundershock, Biped Legs, and Illusion. ZID-03 G Soarer, with Ghost Shot, Double Cross Shock, Wield Legs, and Bloodstain. And ZID-04 D Soarer, with Curse Shot, Hyper Missile, Laser, Tank Legs, and Bug. So it's going to be a very exciting week for a lot of OG Zoids fans that just missed the first one, and we're just kind of wondering now when it will come back. I honestly, it does kind of fit very well with the fact that celebrating 25 years, I think, is actually something worth to be acknowledged and celebrated across the board. And Medarot is most certainly no exception to that either, with their previous collaborations and friendships in the past. Now, the banners will be sticking around until the 9th of January next year, so you have plenty of time to shoot for these models, if any, or if one or two or even multiples of these do catch your interest. So, you have plenty of time, and I'm more than certain lots of opportunities to collect rubies along the way, trying to make use of what you want to find. But, as I kind of step back into view here for a minute, there we are. With the boosted rates that are going live with all of the collab banners going live this week and through the course of this next month or so, we have KGC 0 Evil Rex with Hide Blow, Slash, Pile, Biped Legs, and Spearhead, and we have DRA 03 Shanglong with Fire, Double Charge Blade, Float Legs, and Shape Memory. Now, Shanglong also is capable of meta-changing into a long, serpentine Chinese-style dragon, where he exchanges his kit out entirely for Fire, Deathlock, Repair, Light Legs, and Blowbeat. So a very wide array of models that are going to be going live this week as well, between all the collabs and the boosted rates this time around. And like I said, you will be seeing Evil Rex and Shanglong on all Zoids-based banners, so really don't have to worry about which one you pick, since one of these two models, or even both if you're lucky, do have a chance to spook you basically at random when you do choose both. Now, there really is no real priority on who to choose for because, being completely honest, all the Zoids models are actually really handy in their own right, but G-Sora probably will be one of the better ones because of the ability of cross-shock on either arm. So do keep that in mind as you do try to go after any of the models in this current second wave of the Zoids collab. For the Fierce battles, as we continue onward here, it's going to be a pretty wide range of versatile skills as well between male and female. Starting this lineup on the top row, we have SCP-0 Poison Scorpion with Triple Melt, Multi-Legs, and Desert type. We have LDB-03 Ptolemy with Scope, Rifle, Gatling, Biped Legs, and Gunman. And DRF-03 CT King with Press, Anti-Air, Press, Flight Legs, and Bullet Rain. On this bottom row, we're starting with CCD-0 Semi-Cicade with Melee Trap, Double Break, Flight Legs, and Nest. HNT-01 Queen Vespa with Heater, Plant, Double Static, Float Legs, and Extra Magazine. And GDR-0 Gun Desperado with Rifle, Double Anti-Air, Biped Legs, and Gunman. So it's going to be a pretty heavy emphasis on shooters this time around, especially ones with the Gunman leg ability, especially between Ptolemy and Gun Desperados in particular. But that being said though, I still have to give MVP of the week to Queen Vespa primarily because the fact that static is something that does not require you to actually raise it all the way up in order for it to be useful. And thanks to a buff that it got fairly recently where it removed a good chunk of its cooldown penalty, you can now basically use it very freely without ever having to worry about getting punished on the backside with it. And for folks that are just unaware of what static does, it basically acts like Super Fang in Pokemon. So it will attack an opponent and deal 50% of the part's total remaining HP as damage. This means, of course, it can't break anything, but it makes it very easy for something to come along behind static and do the job for it. So there's still something very easy to be had on all of these though. Poison Scorpion for multi-legs and desert type, Ptolemy for your all-around shooters for females, CD King for your flight legs and bullet rain, or anti-air if that's what you need, Semi-Cicade for break or melee trap and flight legs with Nest, and of course Gun Desperado for your anti-air as well. So honestly, it's worth collecting all of them just for the sake of having them, but Queen Vespa is probably going to be the big golden one of this week's batch. Now, as far as going back to collab stuff is concerned, we are actually going to be seeing a rerun of the first run collab Medarotters, the Zoids collaboration, but we're also being joined by one more that's brand new to the mix. Now, to recap on those that are from the original collaboration, that is of course Azuma, who is here on the far left, but who has the ability of preventing armor from falling under a certain threshold when attacked once, and Kohaku on the other side, on the far right, who has, when attack hits or crits, it gains an extra 25% charge buff and boosts your base power when attacking on your turn. The new one being added, and its first ever instance actually of being introduced into the game right and proper, is the adult version of Ikki Tenryo, which was prevalent in both Medarot 7 and Medarot DS. The collaboration version specifically offers a skill that will negate cooldown penalties and give you a 50% damage reduction during your cooldown, but at a cost, it will also delay your cooldown by 50% while you have those benefits. So basically, while you will be going slower on your cooldown, you'll be able to tank things just a little bit better and not have to worry about getting slapped or punished on the backside, especially if you're using something such as, say, Ghost or Ghost Shot or Beam Sword or Hyper Beam, or something that gives you a no dodge, no defend penalty. This is going to be a very good way to kind of cover your own butt with that, at the cost of slowing yourself down significantly for that next turn. For event stuff, it's going to be kind of a mix between new stuff and old stuff this week, going through this second wave of the collaboration. For this wave, we have an opportunity to earn the Terra Medal, which has a mastery in melee, support, and defense, and leg masteries in wheel, float, and flight. You can also earn Medarotter Ikki, the adult version of Ikki Tenryo, as you see here in his Hotmart uniform as a R or N rank Medarotter. And we can also earn through one of the multiple events that are being rerun through this collab, ZID-01 Shield Liger, which was the event reward from the first run, who has a kit of Charge Guard, Double Beam Sword, Biped Legs, and Auto Charge. You can also earn profile banners featuring D Sting and S Sworder, as well as other gacha tickets to use in the monthly PvP gachas. So it's going to be a pretty busy couple weeks as we go into the as we go into the full swing of the holiday season. So this is kind of your official heads up and warning now to make sure that you have been storing your rubies. This is kind of a good chance to make use of them. Or if you were around from the first run of the Zoids collab, this might be a good week for you to kind of rest and respite a little bit if neither of the new models kind of tickles your fancy. The event itself will be score attack though, which means that pure sets will be encouraged across the board to maximize those bonuses. As you see here, D Sting and S Sworder will give you that highest bonus at a 15% bonus per part equipped. The previous 5 of the OG Zoids collaboration models, including Shield Liger, will give you a 12% bonus per part, and the Fierce Battles will give you a 6% bonus per part each. Whereas the boosted rates, Shanglong and Evil Rex, as well as the PvP models, Punai and Netta and Clear Maid, will give you a 10% bonus each. For Medarotters, it's going to be relatively the same case. It'll be a 10% bonus for the SR version of Collab Adult Icky, a 7% for the Collab Medarotters Ozma or Kohaku from the previous run, and a 5% for SR Kohaku. Whereas it'll be a 3% bonus for any of those 3, and a 1% bonus for the R or N rank, respectively. So I think it's going to be pretty easy this time around to farm, because score attack is really easy. Literally, you just go in, farm it until you reach the maximum points, and you're done. And if you were around in the first run of the Zoids collaboration, you already have a pretty good head start if you have at least 1 or 2 bots that you can use to maximize those bonuses. If you're new, this is going to be mostly a case of just pulling for who you want. Don't try to go after all of them, because you're going to run out of rubies before you run out of gacha pulls. But it is worth noting that Shield Liger is the event reward that is being handed out this time around, so if you did miss him the first time, you do have an opportunity to pick him up again. And compared to most other event rewards we've had in the past, Shield Liger really isn't all that bad either, so still worth raising and having on hand just in case. We also have the limited collab Super Invasions that are making a return, and one new one that is going live as well, featuring D Sting and S Sworder. So do make sure to complete those when you get the opportunity to, for free rubies, and of course the profile plates on top of that, and the free Cyplasium in addition. Now the rules for these are usually pretty simple. You go in, it's just overclocked enemies for the most part, maybe one extra modifier just to throw wrench in the works, but really nothing that's not easily. So do make sure you go after these and challenge and complete them, just so you have them on hand for completion, because those extra resources will really come in handy as we go into the full swing of the holiday season and the Zoids Round 2 collab. Stepping away from game stuff, though, as far as the community is concerned, we are always looking for translators to assist us with any current projects or endeavors. Right now, the current swing is being put toward Medarot 4, and the original Medarot 1 manga, which I actually have not put on my template, has been seeing a lot of high resurgence as well and grown interest. So if you are knowledgeable in coding or cleaning or Japanese, or if you know somebody that might, feel free to shoot us a message or join our Discord in the link provided in the comments below. Ask around, we'll get you in touch with the right people to fill you in on what still needs done. And just as a note, at time of recording for today on December 10th, 2024, Chapter 5 of the original Medarot 1 manga has been officially, well, re-translated proper into English and put on other sites like Manga Dex and Manga Here. So do make sure you check those out when you get a chance if you want to learn the story of Hikaru and the original Metal Beetle, as was originally intended by Horan Rin. Now, something I have not done for several weeks because I've been busy prepping for collaborations and special news coverage in between is, of course, my weekly weekly art highlights here on the MMN. I've been really wanting to do this for a while, but with the Ori Meta contest and my collabs, I really just never had the opportunity to say anything. But I've also been stockpiling a whole lot of really nice art that I like to retweet every now and then on my Twitter. This one here by MNK Shiki, who is the designer for Dead Dog, decided to kind of celebrate the introduction of Elfas Soma and Bularis Mondi, the new Beetle and Stag Beetle starter mascots that will be going live in Medarot Survivor when it launches in February of next year. Honestly, I really love Shiki's art. It's a wonderful design, especially with the stark cell shading there with the bright and dark shadows and the very clear lines. I always love Shiki's art. And this one here by Kei Suwabe, who is also known as the artist and designer for Shadow Armor, which is another of the new faces that will be going live and debuting in Medarot Survivor in February. Honestly, it kind of blew me away when I realized just who Keisuwabi was, and especially just how prominent he is in the Fate series community. And honestly, the fact that he basically got away with implementing Lancelot directly almost one-to-one into Medarot is kind of hilarious, but honestly, wonderful art, highly recommend, and just to show your support as well, definitely give them a follow for the art that they do for the Fate community, and of course for Medarot Survivor with his beloved boy of Shadow Armor. One final note before I do wrap us up, as a reminder, I am always open for commissions, so if you are looking for any live 2D models ready to rig, 3D models fully rigged with the works, standard 2D art of varying degrees of detail, or emotes, or anything similar, I'm more than happy to try to make something work with you. Feel free to reach out to me on Twitter, on Discord, or on Blue Sky and ask around about it, and I'm more than happy to try to make something work with it, and try to work around with you with your finances and your budget to give you something that you're looking for. So again, feel free to reach out to me, and we can most certainly try to make something happen. But with all that being said, I do believe that does cover basically everything for this week's episode, so it's going to be a pretty busy couple weeks going forward into the Zoids Round 2 collaboration and the holiday season on top of that. But if you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page, or the Metabots Forever community on there that I do also run and manage, currently skyrocketing beyond 41,000 members and still growing by the day. You can also join us on Discord in the link provided and in the comments below to keep an even closer ear to the ground on the action. This includes any new links to merchandise, fan art, contests, my weekly episodes, or anything else of the like. That is the first place you're going to hear the news before it goes anywhere else on the net. Lastly, you can also follow me on Twitter or on Blue Sky at IshigamIkura, so whichever poison is your particular media of choice, you're more than happy to reach out to me, say hello, or follow me on there as well. That rule also applies if you're a content creator or a streamer of any size or capacity that would love to collaborate. Whether that means having you here on my channel on the MNN to do the meta news, or if you'd like to have me stop in on yours for a friendly chat or a game, I would love to coordinate and try to make something happen. So feel free to please reach out to me and we can try to coordinate schedules. Lastly, do give these wonderful friends of mine a follow in the Medarot community as well, my dear friends Flintlock GP and Pikugatu, who are two very well-known and very well-beloved artists in the Medarot community for the kind of designs and everything that they work on. Pikugatu, for instance, has been really working hard at kind of redrawing a lot of the older M2 or M1 designs in a Medarot Navi kind of blocky, spritey style, and I really do like seeing the designs that they come up with, so definitely give both of them a follow if you'd like to see more of their art in your feed. But with that being said, as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping in, just as you always do. Until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network. And yeah.